Hey, what's up guys? Josh from TroBuild. Welcome back. We all know that one of the first best mods that we can do to our rigs is to throw on a fresh set of new wheels and tires, right? We want to throw on something that not only gives our rigs a better look, a more aggressive look, but something that is going to be a lot more functional than what the fuel-saving factory installed tires are going to give us. But the question is, how big of a tire is too big before we start going down that all too common, never-ending path of drivetrain upgrades just to match the size tires we put on our rig? Now I get it, I run 39s on the Scout, and today's standards, a 39-inch off-road tire isn't that big anymore. Plus, when we're talking about off-road tires, is there really such thing as too big? Well, I'll leave that answer up to you guys, but in today's video, we're going to be covering the question of how big is too big for the majority of us that use our rigs mainly for daily driving and the occasional off-road adventure. When it comes to picking out tires, the very first thing that we want to understand is how to read tire sizes, which will be listed on the sidewall and will either be in a metric number in millimeters or what's called flotation number in inches. If metric, truck sizes will typically be between a 245 to a 405, which is representative of the tire's width or section width from sidewall to sidewall. For example, if it's a 315, that translates into a tire that is approximately 12.5 inches wide. The second number in line will be the aspect ratio of the width, meaning that if the first number is a 315 and the second number is a 75, this means that the sidewall height is 75% of the 315. So a 315/75 is going to be very close to a 36-inch tall tire that is about 12.5 inches wide. And then the third number on the tire is the wheel or rim size in inches. For flotation sizes, or as I call them, easy to read sizes, the first number represents the height of the tire and the second number is the width of the tire measuring from sidewall to sidewall. So if we have a 35 by 1250 by 17, that means that the tire height will be about 35 inches and the width is about 12.5 inches wide. Much easier to read than its metric counter version. So now that we have a basic understanding of reading tire sizes, the next step in ordering the right size tires and wheels for your particular application is going to be determining exactly what you'll be using your rig for. In most circumstances, we typically end up using our rigs for daily driving, and keeping practicality in mind will save us thousands of dollars in maintenance costs and fuel costs in the long run. But we also want the best of both worlds as well, right? We know we'll also want a tire that is large enough to gain us a bit of extra ground clearance as well, so that when we do hit the trails, we don't should on ourselves. And no, I didn't just swear, I said should on ourselves, meaning we don't want to say that we should have purchased a larger tire, because tire and wheel packages aren't cheap. So we want to get this right the first time around. But we also don't want to have a tire that is too large and impractical for daily driving, and that's what we're mostly going to be doing. A too large of a tire will significantly decrease fuel mileage, as there is going to be a lot more what's called rolling resistance. Rolling resistance is caused from a larger tire being heavier in weight, and plus there is more tire patch contacting the ground, creating more resistance and reducing its ability to roll along easier. A great way to think about this example is by comparing a tire that's inflated to its proper air pressure and how easy that rolls down the road, compared to if any of us had a flat tire and noticed how much more resistance it creates while trying to drive it down the road while it's flat. A lot more resistance, right? With considering which size tires to upgrade to, typically if it's going to be larger than a 35-inch tire, in most circumstances, and I say most circumstances because it depends on the particular vehicle that you have, but larger than a 35-inch tire, and now we may be having to consider the possibility of re-gearing the axles to help offset the rolling resistance and weight of the tire. Regearing, to put it simply, will multiply the engine's output power through the axles to the tires and basically tricking the engine into thinking you have factory-sized tires back on your rig. And to keep this video short and on point, we'll save the gear ratio explanations for a video of its own at a later date. One other major factor in upgrading to larger tires to consider is because larger tires will add more weight. That will also add additional stress onto your rig's drivetrain and suspension components, increasing the duration of maintenance and parts replacements, like ball joints, bearings, or even brakes, for example. Another factor in this equation is what size tire is going to fit my rig. Is a 33 or a 35-inch tire going to clear my fenders or steering components without rubbing or modifications needed to clear these larger tires? These are all great questions and none that we are strangers to here at Trail Built. So to answer these fitment questions, we went ahead and made it super easy for you guys and developed a real-world tire, wheel, and suspension fitment gallery for all kinds of makes of vehicles. So let's say, for example, you have a 2015 Jeep Wrangler 4-door and you're wondering if 35-inch tires are going to fit. So you head on over to our website, it's trailbuiltoffroad.com, and click on the gallery button on the menu bar. Then next you'll enter in your vehicle's information, then click submit. From there it'll show you all the 2015 Jeep Wrangler 4-doors with all different sizes of tires and wheels combined with different size suspension kits. This way it takes all of the guesswork out of trying to figure out which size tire and wheel package combined with what size suspension is going to fit your particular rig, or if there was any modifications done to fit a certain size tire and wheel combo. So with all of that said, how big is too big of a tire to go with? Well, the average size upgrade for a daily driver is about a 33-inch tall tire. If you're hitting the trails quite frequently and fuel mileage is of no concern to you, well, then consider moving up to a 35-inch tire, and keep in mind there will probably be other modifications to follow, like a suspension lift, possibly new gears, lockers, high clearance fenders, and the list goes on. And if you are planning to build a mostly off-road rig, well then personally, I wouldn't go any smaller than a 37, but definitely anticipate upgrading the drivetrain components, suspension, recovery bumpers, rock sliders, and the list goes on and on. Hopefully this video has helped you in one way or another in determining what size tire is going to best suit your needs. And when you guys are ready to upgrade your wheels, tires, and suspension, remember to check out our gallery first to help take that guesswork out of trying to figure out what fits and what doesn't, and you can find that at trailbuiltoffroad.com. And we'll also have a link posted in the description below. So if you guys do have any questions on tire sizes or on which size tires you should upgrade to, just let us know in the comments below, and remember to hit that subscribe button and thumbs up if you like the video. As always, we appreciate all of you for watching. I'm Josh from Trail Built, and we'll see you guys out in the trails.